Thank you so much. We now open the question session in the chat box. There are a lot of comments coming, a lot of questions. People were quite involved, I think. I could see some little fight also happening with who's right and who's wrong. So anyway, that's part of the participation. So I just open this now for an interaction with sir. So I think there's one question. What are the career prospects in coral science?
Yeah, I think I'll give Satya a chance to respond.
Yes, Dr. Satya Naik, sir. That'd be very nice. So please, sir, please unmute.
Yeah, thank you, Raj, and thank you, Debashree.
Yes.
It's an excellent webinar. The prospects are very bright, in fact, because if you look at the problem, almost all the corals, all the reef regions are in danger. And the next decade will be ecological restoration. And it is again the ocean, conservation of ocean. And the whole decade, coming decade will be for the conservation of oceans and ecological restoration. And the force we have is very, very less to protect these corals. And without them, we are not there. So there are a lot of prospects. People who are taking up coral reefs and those who can dive and then see the coral reefs and learn diving they have a lot of prospects. We have a lot of projects coming up. And at the same time, the force is very, very less. And I would like to tell one thing. The women folk in this webinar, I don't know how many of you know that you are very much suitable than men for diving. And if you take the world coral reefs, women divers are more and women scientists are more. So the prospect is very, very good. So I suggest all of you to take it up and you will be certainly not disappointed.
Yes. Yeah, especially on restoration, actually, there's a huge prospect. Yes. Why? Because so without restoration, we can't have we can't sustain the ecological or ecosystem functions. So what we're concerned about is we can't have the reefs back to the original glory. That we are very much sure about. So restoration is the only hope we have to have at least the ecological functions being served. So there is a high prospect for people who are working on coral restoration. Any other question that has come up on the chat box, ma'am, that we can respond to?
So there was a question. What is the present status of coral bleaching in India? So, I mean, if you can comment on that.
Yeah, like I told you, it's a very frequent now. So every year there's bleaching. It's not, we don't have to have the El Nino to cause bleaching. The first bleaching incident that happened in 1998 was by El Nino. So now we don't have to have that El Nino to have bleaching. Every year there's a bleaching. But then until 2016, we had the summer bleaching events, which was not severe at all. But see, from the last year onwards, the summer bleaching itself is enough to cause the coral to die. This year we had experienced almost in I was stuck up during the pandemic in Lakshadweep, and we were not allowed to go other reef areas. In the reef area we had stuck up. Got bleached, and almost all of them died. So it's very severe.
So we have a suggestion from Dr. Just a minute, I'll just read that. So just give me a minute, I'll just read it out. Yeah, from Dr. C.M. Rama Rithinan. Sir says that it's a very good and informative presentation about corals, their biology, diversity of coral reefs, and natural and anthropogenic impacts. Your presentation has basic idea of a coral reef ecosystem. This would help students and scholars to scholars. Thank you, Dr. Rajan. Wait, sir, there was a suggestion. I'll just read that out. Yeah. Sir has suggested that ZSI may take steps to conduct a workshop in the area of identification of corals using traditional taxonomy. Since we are facing many problems in identifying corals, this is my humble request to ZSI from Dr. C.N. Ramakrithinan, who is here with us. So, sir, we would like you to comment. Dr. Satya, Dr. Marimuthu, Dr. Rajan, of course, is there. We have Dr. Yogesh. So please suggest what can be done. Maybe our OC Dr. Balakrishnan is there. We could initiate our next webinar on this. So sir, please comment on this.
Yeah, I would like to comment on this. It's a very good suggestion, sir, Ramakrishnan sir. In fact, we have organized one training program. In 2003, we have organized a training program at Andaman. And most those who are sitting here, like Gerald Wilson, Marimuthu, then they were all there in the training. We have trained them in coral taxonomy. And after that, we have organized one more in Lakshadweep also in 2008. So it is a pleasure. We'll be doing that because Rajkumar is always there and I am also there with him now. So we'll be certainly doing it. What do you say, Raj?
Yeah, we can do that, but I think we need to wait for the pandemic to end. So we can't have it in an online format. I doubt we can have it in an online format because we need to have the hands-on experience. So the participants should have the hands-on experience in order to see the specimen physically and get trained on the taxonomy. So,
okay, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Ramakrithinan sir, we assure you that my officer in charge, Dr. Balakrishnan, will definitely put forward your suggestion to Director sir, so that this workshop on coral taxonomy training can be definitely taken up. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. It is not for myself. I'm asking. It's for whole India.
It's such a nice suggestion, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
I just wanted to inform our participants that ZSI is contributing a lot on coral taxonomy, and we have Dr. Satyanarayan sir with us. Sir has done a lot for the restoration of the reefs in Gujarat. I have heard sir's presentation also. Dr. Marimuthu has also taken training on the GIS application. I was in headquarters. So I heard his saw his wonderful presentation. We have Dr. Yogesh Kumar, Dr. Kamal Mandal. So as this webinar was going on, it just came to my mind that if participants are interested, we can have a total webinar on corals where different speakers can put forward. Dr. Rajan has given a brilliant presentation on such basic information on corals. So we can, work out this, and different aspects of coral taxonomy can be presented to the students. So this was just a suggestion which I felt. So there was another question.
Dr. Marimuthu said something, sir.
Yes, Dr. Marimuthu.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving the opportunity to view our Dr. Rajkumar sir's presentation. It's a wonderful information he has shared with us. Sir, actually, in this presentation, I have seen your report also regarding Park Bay corals. Unfortunately, I haven't seen about your updates on Park Bay corals, whether regarding that species list you have reported in 2013. It was the first report in India, I think, sir.
Yeah, actually, no, I followed up Dr. Pillai's report of Park Bay. So there wasn't a status of coral diversity or yeah, biodiversity, coral diversity assessment on Park Bay. So that was after a gap of, I think, 1972 was Pillai's report, and it was after that. So we had reported some 4 or 5 species as new records to Park Bay, to that region also. I don't know, but see, major reefs we would consider Park Bay as a separate entity. We would consider that as with Gulf of Mannar. So Park Bay is a very small area, which is just 0.7 kilometer area of the reef. So it is not considered as a separate entity to have mentioned it as a separate reef area. That's the reason I think probably I didn't keep that there. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And in continuation with Dr. Satyanarayana sir's speech regarding that identification of corals through Indo-Australia capacity building, it has to be continued at least once in 2 years. Then only, because we people got benefited not only from India, many people, those who got the opportunity, they have migrated into Middle East countries also. So many EA companies also got this kind of training, and they have utilized this facility. So we have to continue this aspect for the students for the forthcoming seminars also. You please consider it, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this we can do. In fact, Marimuthu is a specialist in identifying the juvenile corals. There are very few people who are working all over the world. In fact, in India, I think he's the one who can do that. So I think we can have a combined kind of a training program where we can train people. As Ramakrishnan sir told, I think everybody will get benefited out of this, because they're all in Schedule 1 now. Corals are in Schedule 1. So without removing the corals, we can teach them how to identify a coral underwater.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. There is one question from a student. What is reef walking?
Who will respond? I'll respond.
Yeah.
Okay. Reef walking is actually it's given to people who are not divers. So if non-diver who wants to still have an underwater experience, he would be given a breathing apparatus, provided a helmet, and he would be given an air supply, and he would be given enough weights so that he would be taken underwater, and he would just walk on the reef as if he is walking on land, because his buoyancy is brought down negative, so that he will not be floating up and down in the water, but he will just rest on the water, so that he would walk comfortably on the water. That is what is reef walking. The air supply comes from the boat via tube, and he will have a mouthpiece to hold on to, and he will use that mouthpiece to breathe. So he will have a helmet normally, or he would wear a mask. They will give that person a mask to see through, and a mouthpiece to breathe. But I've seen many places they will give a complete helmet, and air supply would be from the boat. Normally it's given from the boat.
Yeah, in fact, that is being done in Andamans now. Earlier they used to do it in Indonesian waters and then Thailand, everywhere. But now they are doing it like an astronaut walking in space. You can walk underwater and see the corals.
That's
so that is what. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
what yeah, please.
No, carry on.
Yeah. But what I suggest is those who are going to Andamans, in fact, our dive teams there, means the dive clubs in Andamans, they will take you underwater. Even you don't require such kind of an equipment. With the cylinder, they will take you underwater, and they can easily show you. In fact, I have taken my wife also underwater. She doesn't know swimming even, but she enjoyed looking underwater. So I suggest you to go and prefer for that, and then see underwater world.
Yeah, there are this dive schools, recognized dive schools like of PADI, CMAS, and all. The divers, they are the instructors. If they are very, capable to take introductory divers. I mean, divers who want to learn. So if you are allowed to go with them, and then there's no issue. So if you're going with them, there's no issue of your safety and the environment safety. But like if the other dive operators and very of dubious character and mettle, they wouldn't, you wouldn't expect that quality from those people.
Thank you, sir. Is Dr. Tamal Mandal with us? Dr. Tamal, I think you really have to gear up because we are all heading towards Andaman and Nicobar Islands once the pandemic is over, because definitely we have to go and explore the underwater treasures. From the chat box, I just put up Dr. Ilona Kharkongor from Shillong. She put up a comment. Never thought that we would do what we would do on land can have such far-reaching consequences on the beautiful corals. I'm putting this up because definitely it's a message for all of us that we really need to be so careful, because all our actions actually are having an impact on these beautiful corals, which is deep under the sea. So there's one more question, but are corals ornamental?
Yeah, there are ornamental corals. Actually, the coral, rubrum, red coral is ornamental coral everywhere. You have even in Indian jewelry shops, you'll find that coral. From Mediterranean, mostly this coral is being harvested and brought into our jewelries and carved there. And you'll find it in most of the Jaipur jewelries.
So there's one more question. Can we restore bleached corals? What is the impact, if any, of COVID on these coral reefs?
We can't restore a dying coral. We can only restore a reef through by several means. We can plant a coral there, and we can also seed corals there. There are methods available. But a dying coral, like we treat a COVID patient, we can't treat a dying coral. It's very difficult. Underwater treatments, treating an underwater life like coral is not, we have not reached that level of, but how can you, how will we treat, it's not a separate, it's not an individual, right? It's a colonial organism. So I don't think there is a possibility. But then now with science, there's nothing that's impossible. But if you ask me, you can't treat a coral like you can treat a tiger or an animal, a tiger or an elephant.
Yeah, you cannot bring back the whole thing to life, but corals are, they are colonial. So you can break them into pieces, and through different restoration methods, you can bring them back again. They can grow. That is what being happening in restoration. So if you want to have the coral which is dying to come back, instead of doing that, if you break it into small pieces and use different methods for their growth and restoration, giving proper conditions, you can do that.
So thank you. There's one more question from Rajiv Bhaskar from MCRI. His question is regarding coral reef ecosystem and seaweed relation. Is there any impact of coral bleach on seaweed?
I didn't get the question, ma'am.
Is there any impact of coral bleach on seaweed?
Seaweeds.
Yes, seaweeds.
No, seaweed,
Shall I-
seaweed is an algae. It's a
Shall I-
He's
plant.
asking seaweed associated, coral associated seaweeds.
Shall I respond to that?
Yes, Dr. Satya, please.
Yeah. See, coral, the seaweeds will be very happy to have corals bleached. Because once the corals die, they occupy the space. And in fact, once the algae started growing, means the seaweed started growing, they cut off the light and they kill the corals also. Even though the weeds, I mean, the seaweeds are very important for a coral reef to take away the nutrients. If the levels goes up, then that ends up in a problem. So they themselves are competitors to corals. Seaweeds are competitors. They are not going to, corals are not going to get benefited when the exponential growth of seaweeds are there. It should be balanced.
Yeah,
Okay.
just to add
Thank you,
to
sir. Please.
Dr. Satya, see, seaweed dominates coral reef once there is coral decline. So it happens in any situation. Like it's not just because corals bleach and seaweed dominate. If there isn't enough coral cover, that seaweed takes over. So there is always a competition for space between this algae and coral and other competitors. So, like even there is competition between soft coral and corals. If the coral remains dominant, system remains. That's why we use coral cover as a proxy to assess the health of the coral reef ecosystem. So any decline in coral cover causes other organisms to take over.
Okay, so thank you so much. We have this session can actually really go on and on, but since there is a time restriction, I now request Dr. Yogesh Kumar, our young and dynamic scientist, to maybe just summarize the whole thing. You can give your own comments on this and to propose a formal vote of thanks on behalf of all of us. Dr. Yogesh Kumar.
Madam, may I add one more point before Dr. Yogesh speaks?
Yes, sir, please.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank and congratulate Dr. Rajkumar Rajan for a wonderful presentation. We had a very colorful photos and videographs and quite informative also. So thank you, sir. And regarding Park Bay, when compared to Malwan and Gulf of Kutch, there are quite a lot of diversity of corals are available in Park Bay. For my PhD, I have identified more than 77 species in Park Bay.
Yes, in fact, we have brought out a publication. JEDA has brought out a compiled publication on Park Bay. But after that, these people, Gerald and Nityananda Maso, were there.
Can you
they were
hear me?
staying there and then working on Park Bay.
Hello?
They have done good work there.
Yes. Hello? Yes, Dr. Wilson.
Yeah, Dr. Gerald, your
Hello?
voice was breaking. We can hear you now. Dr. Gerald, can you hear us? I think there is some network issue. Okay, Dr. Yogesh, sir, you can just continue. Maybe later, sir can join.
Okay, thank you. So, I thank you very much to one and all. First of all, I thank our Honorable Director, Dr. Kailasundara sir, our Joint Director, Dr. C. Ranganathan sir, for giving this opportunity to keep our encouragement and successfully do this program, webinar program. I thank you very much, sir. And it's the time to thank our Chief Guest, Dr. Rajkumar Rajan sir. And sir, the chat box is full of research and your presentation is really wonderful, very informative to the students and all the participants in this webinar. Thank you so much, sir. Also, I thank our senior scientist, Dr. Satyanarayan sir, coral taxonomist, gave input of corals and interaction with the participants. We thank you very much, sir, your presence with us and with your guidance. Lot of scientists working on the coral in India, and we thank you very much, sir. And one more thing, I have to share it with this team. And 2009, and I joined this ZSI, and we went survey with Dr. Rajkumar Rajan sir in North Andaman Island. I think sir remember that. So we went there, and that time only I know the dedication they worked on the coral reef, and they're doing the survey, all the things, and I learned the underwater coordinate method, photo coordinate method with him only during that time. And when we were starting the survey, mostly we were starting 4:30 to 5 before sunrise, and we returned back at 7 o'clock and 8 or something. So sunrise and sunset in the boat only. We return back, and next day morning we'll get ready and we start the survey in North Andaman Island. I think sir remember, and that survey is very difficultly we successfully completed the survey. And also Satyanarayana sir present with us, and he is guided a lot of to me during the coral transplantation in Gulf of Kutch. And our team members also here. Dr. Manikandan is here. Dr. Chandran is also present on this team. I thank to this team, and I thank you very much, sir. Also presented with here, and I thank you. And thank you very much, sir, for your presence with us. And now I thank our participants, all the participants and the students, professors, scientists, coral experts from the different institutions, and all the faculties who participated in this webinar, particularly coral working faculties, Dr. Ramakrishnan sir from MK University, Dr. Gerald Wilson sir from MK University, Dr. K. Sivakumar sir from CAS Annamalai University, Dr. Nityananda Manikam from Kuwait, Dr. Manikandan. So before worked with us in coral transplantation project, now he is in the Kuwait. Sorry, he is in the Saudi Arabia. And Dr. Chandran, he is also in the coral transplantation. Up to the end, he was there. And at present, he is in the Marine National Park in Gulf of Kutch in Gujarat. Dr. Kaushik, he is from Gulf of Mannar, NCRN, and they are all working in the coral. A few people I know the name that I am mentioning here. I heartily thank all you. With your support, it is not possible to success. Once again, I thank you all. I extend my thank to our scientists particularly participating our former director, Dr. Ramakrishnan sir. Participated and blessed with us, and sir, I thank you very much, sir, for your presence with us. Thank you very much, sir. And Dr. Nivedita Saha madam, Dr. Gaurav Sharma, Dr. Raj Mohana madam, Dr. N. Marimuthu, and all these scientists from different regional centers, they are participated and supported a lot for us. Thank you so much, all your support and grand success of this program. And also, I must to thank our MRC team members, especially organizing committee members, Dr. Balakrishnan, officer in charge of this station, Dr. C.C. Tudu, Dr. Aditya Kapil, Dr. Anand, Debasri Dham, and all the staff members of this station. I thank you very much, all the staff members. Our special thank to Ms. Debasri Dham for her involvement and coordination of this webinar and grand success of this program. Thank you very much, madam, for your support and success of this program. If I miss it anyone, and I am really sorry, and thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yogesh sir.